38 isn't random. There's actually psychology and biology that makes this the optimal age for men to quit drinking permanently. I'm Emma and I've been alcohol-free for over 10 years and I've helped dozens of men in their late 30s take back control over alcohol. My program has a 93% success rate compared to other programs who have a 12 to 17% success. And here's what I've discovered. The men who succeed aren't the youngest and they're not the oldest. They're the ones who understand timing. There's a perfect storm of factors that converge at 38, but that window doesn't stay open forever. I'm going to show you exactly why your brain and your body are primed for this change right now, why this timing isn't a coincidence, and why waiting even 5 years works against you. Let's start with what's happening in your head, because there's something called the end of decade urgency, and it's real. As you approach 40, your brain creates this artificial deadline pressure. Most people think that this pressure is a weakness. It's not. It's motivational fuel. I had a client who came to me and he was 3 weeks before his 39th birthday. And he said, Emma, I can't turn 40 doing the same things I used to do in my 20s and fighting it. That deadline pressure wasn't his weakness. It became his superpower for change. Within 100 days, he completely transformed. You're also at peak readiness for identity change. Your career is stable enough to focus on your personal transformation, and you're not proving yourself professionally anymore, so you can focus inwards. And now you've got that pattern recognition maturity. You're old enough to see alcohol's impact on your performance, your relationships, your energy, but you're still young enough to believe that change is possible for you. This is that sweet spot between self-awareness without resignation. You haven't hit that place where you think this is just who I am, I can't change. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in your body, because the science is fascinating. Your brain still has incredible neuroplasticity at 38, but now you've got that adult discipline to back it up. When you were 25, you had the brain flexibility, but you didn't have the emotional regulation or life skills to make it stick. Now I've worked with two different men, right? One who quit when he was 38 and another when he was 52. Same drinking patterns, same backgrounds. The 38-year-old had his sleep restored within 30 days, mental clarity back within 60. The 52-year-old, it took him 6 months to get the same sleep quality and nearly a year for cognitive recovery. At 38, your liver can still bounce back dramatically. Your energy systems are still completely rebuildable. Change things now and you'll get another 30 years of peak performance. Wait until you're 50 and you're looking at a much harder and longer recovery. At 38, you finally have the perfect conditions for major life change. If you have kids, they're probably between 2 and 10 years old, and this is crucial. They're old enough to notice patterns. They can see when daddy has a drink in his hand every night, but they're young enough that you can completely rewire their impression of you. One of my clients had a wake-up call when his 8-year-old son came home with his school book, and they were talking about professions in school, and it's like, my mummy is, and then a picture, my daddy is, and a picture. The picture of daddy was him on the sofa drinking a beer. And it literally said, my daddy watches TV and drinks beer. That moment changed everything because he realized that his window to be the father that he wanted to be and to be remembered as that was still open. And your marriage probably has enough foundation to rebuild trust, but enough runaway ahead to make it worthwhile. Professionally, your reputation is established, but it's not set in stone. Your peak earning years are still ahead of you. Here's what most men don't calculate: the compound cost of waiting. I worked with a 42-year-old who did the math on what his drinking had cost him. Not just the money, though that was 40 grand over the 10 years, but the promotions he didn't get because he wasn't operating at full capacity. The business partnerships that went to sharper competitors. The side projects that he never started because he didn't have the energy. And he looked me in the eye and he said, Emma, my drinking has cost me at least $1 million over the decade. And every year that you continue drinking is another year of suboptimal performance. Now, if you're making 75 grand now, but you could be making 100 grand with the clarity and confidence that comes from being alcohol free, there's 25 grand in opportunity cost every single year. But the financial cost isn't even the worst. It's watching your kids form their permanent memories of who dad is. It's your wife slowly losing respect. It's looking in the mirror at 45 and knowing that you wasted the best years of your life operating at half speed. Address drinking at 38 and its maintenance. Wait until you're 45 and it's rebuilding marriages, repairing health damage, trying to restart careers. And some things can't be rebuilt once they're broken. So here's the truth. You're not behind. You're perfectly positioned. Now, this isn't about willpower, it's about strategic timing. You've got biology, psychology, and life circumstances all aligned in your favor. But even if you understand that the timing is perfect, most men still don't know how to actually make this stick. They try willpower, then they try moderation, and then they try cold turkey. And 90% of them fail within 100 days. I've created a specific system for men in exactly your position, and it's called the Alcohol Control Protocol. It's a 100-day system that eliminates your desire to drink, not just your access to it. If you're ready to use this window of time while you have it, there's a link below to a free training video that will walk you through the control method. But don't wait, your 40s deserve the best version of yourself. Let's make sure that's exactly what they get.